Is this the week we found out that all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others?
Birds are not aggressive creatures, miss. They bring beauty into the world. It is mankind, rather, who insists upon making it difficult for life to exist upon this planet.
I mean, birds just don't go around attacking people without no reason. You know what I mean?
I think we're in real trouble.
Huh?
I don't know how this started or why, but I know it's here and we'd be crazy to ignore it.
To ignore what? The bird war?
Yes, the bird war, the bird attack play. Call it what you like. They're massing out there someplace and they'll be back. You can count on it.
Some breaking news there from over 60 years ago. A clip from the trailer of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Felicity, why?
Oh, just because of seagulls, really. The Guardian reported on Tuesday that seaside authorities across England are grappling with an influx of gulls and lots of complaints from various locals. So there were 220 reports of gull incidents on the Yorkshire coast between 2021 and June this year, according to figures from North Yorkshire Council.
Can we just unpick that? What's a gull incident?
A gull incident, I think it's anything where they are like stealing food, being violent, being aggressive, any kind of sort of interaction with a gull that is not a happy one.
220 reports. Who are they reporting it to? What? I mean, a seagull steals some crisps and someone tells the police? What?
I think the council.
Okay, wow. I mean, I guess the point I'm making is the real figure must be larger, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it's much larger. I'm sure there are many people who aren't reporting it, but nevertheless, they are a real menace and causing many problems.
I mean, are you bringing us this story, Felicity? I think it's apt to mention that you live by the coast because this is something that affects you.
Yes. Yes, I live in Folkestone, so I'm by the seaside, and they are a problem, and they are definitely getting way more emboldened, way more ferocious and fearsome. But they are very divisive. Some people love them, some people hate them. In Folkestone, we actually have Mediterranean gulls, which are a rare gull. But yes, it does seem that more people are reporting them to the councils, and councils are having to spend more money on trying to solve the problem.
Okay. I mean, can we really evidence, Arion, that there are, quote, more of these attacks, these incidents happening? Haven't seagulls always stolen food? It's that now that, you know, someone's bothered to write it down?
I think that we are seeing more of these incidents being reported to at least North Yorkshire Council. There was also a yearly census that's conducted, which was looking into or continues to look into the number of occupied kittiwake nests. Now, just a quick side note, I always thought that seagulls were just a type of bird, but of course that's a catch-all for lots of different types of gulls, like the Mediterranean gulls near Felicity, or herring gulls and kittiwakes that are the ones that are showing up in Scarborough. But yes, this annual census is showing that there are many more of these occupied nests. In fact, a 39% increase over recent years. And again, depending on how you frame the story, I think that could be a sign of success in integrating wildlife into cities.
Yeah, it's a good news story. Yeah, native species, you know, immigrant species joining them, not destroying the native population, then finding ways to find food. It's
I mean, there's that metaphorical aspect to how you could read it, but also, you know, birds move into urban areas partly because we feed them, or at least there's lots of food available to them. So if we want fewer birds, we have to change ourselves. It's not the bird's fault in and of itself.
Rebecca, are we to blame?
In a nutshell, yes. I mean, I come from Weymouth, so I know about seagulls. You know, all the houses on my street growing up was seagull-proofed, like around the chimneys. There was literally a road near my house that my mum couldn't walk down because a seagull would attack her every time she did. Like, I understand they are a menace, and they have been a menace ever since I can remember. But I do think they are getting a little bit bolder, and that is because, you know, we are now generations and generations into gulls. I'm talking specifically about herring gulls, really. The big mean ones that you see on the seafront swiping people's chips are herring gulls. Kittiwakes look like seagulls, but they're a bit smaller, and they tend to feed out at sea in their natural hunting grounds. Although
Can I just be the pro-gull guy here and say that I love it?
Go for it.
I think they're cute. I think it's funny when they steal people's food. I've witnessed people cheer when they take away a chip. People enjoy that.
Oh, you are just the sort of,
If you're talking about a menace animal, that's a wasp. There's nothing fun about a wasp. A seagull's amusing.
No, it's not. You're like one of those grockles that throws a bunch of chips out onto the beach for them and then laughs like a fool and claps their hands as everyone else recoils in horror.
Yeah, and if you look at any of the tabloids are full of the most terrifying stories about seagulls and what they can do and how violent and aggressive they can be.
Like what? What do they do? Steal people's wigs? What do they do?
No, they'll attack. They attack. They will, they will give people like injuries, and they're vicious. They're more vicious than they used to be, certainly. But they are, weirdly enough, they are actually under threat. They are at risk of extinction, which it seems to be completely crazy that everyone thinks.
Oh, you want it both ways, don't you?
By them. But a combination of overfishing, warmer seas means that they are actually under threat, which I think a lot of people don't realise. They're sort of thriving in urban environments because of the way we live our lives. And I saw a very good quote that says, because if we're dirty and if we think they're dirty and disgusting, it's because we're dirty and disgusting. So it's fly tipping, it's leaving out all your takeaways, it's heat waves. The way we live our lives is why seagulls and rats and pigeons and all sorts of pests are getting more numerous and emboldened.
Do you have seagulls in Sydney?
We most certainly do. Silver gulls are the ones that have become the urban nuisance here, and they've got absolutely booming numbers. The same thing is going on here. It's easy access to human waste, and also lots of people having fish and chips around the harbour and on the beaches. But, apart from the fact that
it's also the British people's fault.
Which is also a fault of the British people. Colonialism all over again. But I think that their presence raises really multiple issues, at least from the people who find them problematic, yourself not included, Olly. There are the health risks from bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella, as well as that aggressive scavenging behaviour and the noise and mess in public spaces, contamination of water reservoirs, and also they do pose a significant hazard for aircraft. And Sydney Airport, I will confess, it's our own damn fault that we put the airport right on the coast. But there's an enormous amount of bird strikes annually, which do pose a genuine threat to aviation. So there are efforts around the airport in particular to try to bring the bird life under control, mostly through humane methods, and across the city as well. There was this hilarious thing that a mechanical hawk was installed at the Opera House at significant cost, mind you, in 2014. It completely failed to strike any fear into the resident seagulls whatsoever, nor did the kites that they put up that were meant to resemble owls, nor the audio deterrents that they tried to dissuade birds around Circular Quay. But
what was the audio deterrent? What, Wagner?
Yeah, like just pipe the warbling straight out of the Opera House, I guess.
Yeah.
But the thing that has worked are the bird deterrent spikes, and I think they're quite effective in the UK as well. You put them on roofs and awnings, and that tries to discourage roosting around city areas. And, there are people, again, who say that that's not a very humane way of approaching the issue. And for a lot of people, I think, birds are synonymous with seaside life, and to get rid of them, particularly seagulls, seems kind of a travesty and would be halving the experience of why you go to the seaside in the first place.
Felicity, this has also been an issue in India, I understand.
Well, not with seagulls, but with animals, birds that people don't want. So in Delhi, authorities have been ordered by a court to capture all stray dogs, have them sterilised and vaccinated and relocate them. The court gave authorities 8 weeks to create facilities and install CCTV monitoring to ensure that the animals are not released back onto the streets. And that's partly because some of the dogs can be a threat to children and elderly and attack them. And that's because India bears the highest rabies burden globally. So every year, about 5,700 people die from rabies. But it's been very, very, very divisive. I mean, lots of people really love these stray dogs and feed them and look after them. And then the other story to come out of India was from Mumbai, where another court ban, this time centered on feeding pigeons. So feeding pigeons has now been banned in public spaces in the West Indian city. And that's again because people are worried about the pigeon droppings posing a risk of all sorts of illnesses that they cause. And again, that has also been divisive, that lots of people, love the pigeons. And I guess we have the same thing in this country, that pigeons are everywhere. Most people think they're kind of smelly and gross and disgusting. They did all descend from homing pigeons. So the fact that they're smelly and gross and disgusting is because we made them so. But it just goes to show, cities around the world are grappling with all manner of different pests. And I guess the obvious one would also be rats, mega rats, where cities pretty much across the map are dealing with huge numbers of rats, and they're huge in size as well.
Yeah, pigeons I don't mind watching from afar. Stray dogs I don't want eating my chips, and rats I don't want in the same continent as me.
Yeah, and the problem, no matter where it is around the world, is that authorities do have to strike a delicate balance of not upsetting the people who actually enjoy having these animal companions in the urban environment. We've seen it in Mumbai. People are coming along and pulling off the tarpaulin covers the authorities have placed over the pigeon, this sort of like dovecotes but for pigeons, where people go and feed them. They say covered up in the tarpaulin. Now people are pulling them off. And even in Scarborough, which on the surface does not have that much in common with Mumbai, I think we could probably say, we've seen a similar reaction when the council has tried to crack down on gulls. One thing that they did install was fire gel on the cliff bridge in Scarborough. Now, fire gel sounds very scary, but it's actually just a substance that in gull vision appears to be shining like fire. So they think it's fire, so they don't go there, they don't nest there. But those installations were sabotaged by gull allies who knocked the canisters down.
Okay. Squawk!